Hey guys, it's Bear with the Gimme Camper. So what we want to talk about today is upgrading the headlights in our Ram 2500. I think this is the same for pretty much all models of Rams in this 4th gen. You know, there's some issues to it. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to show you what the best option is, which is also the most expensive, what an option is that we tried to go to, and then when that all failed, what we got locally and what seems to be the easiest option. We're going to show that one at the end, so I'd stick around. All right guys, so let's just start with what are the problems when upgrading the headlights in these Ram trucks. And I'm going to tell you what it is. And number one, it's the CAN bus system that they added into that thing. It can make your headlights flicker, it can make them not work, it can make all kinds of stuff. Now I think they introduced this system in 2016. And like I say, this is all about the 4th gen. I don't know anything about the 5th gen or before. My truck's a 2016, and so it's right when this CAN bus stuff came out, as far as I'm aware. The best option that a lot of people go with, and they really love it, is the Morimoto lights. They're LED. I think they're called the XB. You know, they're nice and they're pretty, and they got all that newer LED accent lighting around them. But there's one problem with them. They're $1,633 at the time of me filming this video. So that's a pretty penny. And I've done spent a lot of money on this truck, so I wasn't really going to do that. So now what we're going to talk about is kind of what was recommended to me. My neighbor said, oh, I love the Auxbeam lights. That's the best headlight for these trucks. And so I thought, well, I'll try that. So I went on Auxbeam's website, which is not that user-friendly. And I actually found a kit for the, I think it's 2016, 2017 Ram. I think the CAN bus is different there. I found a kit there, and I just assumed that it had everything that I needed because it was a headlight kit. And that was like $169 at the time of filming this. I'll post it up here. But, you know, the issue is I hooked everything up. Now you got to take all the headlights apart to get to all this stuff. So I ordered it ahead of time, spent me about 160, 170 bucks, got it in the mail, and then I took it apart, and then I installed the light bulbs. And then before I put it all back together, I wanted to make sure it worked. And guess what? It didn't work. I think with the initial time, I actually don't think any of the lights worked. I went back and I sent them a message on their customer service. And basically I got back a less than satisfactory email that basically said to take an alternative 12-volt power source, plug it into the lights. If the lights worked, then yes, that means you need decoders. You mean tell me they can't just like look at their references and tell me if I need decoders and what I need? And so I really wasn't happy with that. Now I've been more than happy with my Auxbeam panel after I got that set up on the truck. And I really love that. And you know, there's a link to that video up here. But at the same time, I'm telling you, it's just, you should be able to just order some lights and put them in. It should be that simple. So then I paid another, I think $80 for 2 sets of decoders. I got those decoders in the mail. Next chance I get, I take all the headlights and everything apart again, because you got to take the grill off and everything. Took everything off. And then when I did that, it still didn't work. The high beam, I think, worked on the driver's side. Actually, I got a little clip of that. I'll show you that right now. So neither one of these two work. It's on high beams right now. I have one high beam lit up over here. Low beam's not working. I want to turn the high beams off. Now we're on regular low beams. So you can see that neither one of these two are working. They're both plugged in. These are their power supply, and then it goes into the decoder here, and the decoder's plugged into the regular light. So I think I'm gonna have to give up on these and send them back. They were really highly recommended from one of my neighbors, but it's not working for me. Guys, as you can see, after about $250 investment, I had lights that still didn't work. I got angry. I was getting ready to go on a trip. And I thought, what can I do just, you know, locally for, you know, decent money, even if it costs a little bit more, send this crap back. What can I get that's going to fix this problem for me today? Even if it's still a halogen bulb, if it's like an upgraded halogen, we'll try that. So I went down to O'Reilly's, and then I got a Sylvania H11 bulb that was the LED, because that's the low beams. These are non-projector headlights, by the way. I don't remember if I said that. So with my H11 Sylvania LED bulbs, they just plugged right in. Now these are the same bulbs that I used whenever I rebuilt the front of the Honda Pilot. It worked great, and so I thought I'd try them on here. And again, they worked fine. Now there's an issue with that because like the electronic part of the bulb is built on the back of the bulb, and with the Ram bulbs, they come with little dust covers. You got to put the bulbs in there and put the dust covers on. So I actually bought the high beam and low beam versions, but the low beam version worked because I was able to get that dust cover back on. The high beam lacked about 1/8 of an inch of clearance, and so I could have altered things, but I didn't want to do that. So I took those back to O'Reilly's, and then I got the Extra Vision. I think it's 9008 bulb. The Extra Vision ones, they're a little bit upgraded. They were about 40-50 bucks. Put them in the high beams. They worked fine. You know, you're using the low beams most of the time anyway, and that's really the one that we had the problem with. After we got the truck put back together, it just felt like, I don't know, it felt like you just couldn't see that far ahead of the truck when we took it to Texas, and it's kind of been that way. So we changed to these Sylvania LED bulbs, which you can pick up at your local O'Reilly's, AutoZone. Everything works fine there. I really can't complain about it. I really like it. It ended up being one of the cheaper options, and it upgraded the lighting system. So I'm really happy with it. I will add some Amazon links. You know, if you shop with our Amazon links, it does help our channel out a little bit. But I will share that with you guys because basically, you know, that just gives you what to go for. Because the problem is that this stuff can be really confusing, especially when you just kind of do a search on there. So I know that the low beam bulbs are the Sylvania H11 bulbs, and the high beam bulbs, I believe, were the Sylvania Extra Vision 9005 bulbs. So, you know, it's pretty easy upgrade. I'm pretty happy with it. I've had it in for about 6 months, and I had to adjust them because they were kind of blinding everybody. But, you know, the truck sits up pretty high, so I had some issues with that anyway. But I just wanted to go over that with you guys today. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, leave a comment, but I'll talk to you guys later.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.